So, first off, this was an awesome show that you did tonight.
Thank you.
What got you into music and using all the pads and Ableton and all that stuff? How did you get into this?
I grew up in a family that played music basically for like the last 100 years. So basically almost every member of my family for like generations and generations going back on my father's side in particular played piano, like at a professor style level. Like at 1917, like Aunt Bertha something was teaching in a conservatory. That's literally like 100 years now. So that's blessing number one. Blessing number two is I'm from Detroit, and I came of age at a period when Detroit electronic music was just exploding around the world. And I had the blessing to play keyboards on a bunch of those records. And then kind of like the third blessing in a way is that I would see how these guys were producing at that point with their drum machines, kind of like pecking at the typewriter, like with one finger type of thing, if you can imagine. And I was like, I can totally do this. This seems really easy, you know. And you know, and another part of that is that I also grew up in like a marching band family as well. So like the combination of the piano and the drums and the Detroit everything, just like it was kismet. It was bound to happen.
So you're the awesome electric spot in the right place.
Yeah, it really was that. And I worked hard, like beyond all that. Like it's the right place, right time, and then making the choice to just work.
Yeah, you're definitely not just pressing one button.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So that actually answers my next question, like what got you into music? Do you have any formal training?
Yeah. Grew up classical piano training for years and years, and drums.
So what are you working on now, and what do you have in the future for next year?
Well, in the last year, I've been doing a bunch of special events with the Roots, which has been really spectacular. They've been inviting me on like some really crazy things like Radio City Music Hall with Dave Chappelle and stuff like this. So my email account is open and waiting for more invites to do crazy things like that. And that opportunity has also just opened up a crazy world of new people that I'm meeting, and various Hollywood-ish producers and stuff. So as soon as the tour is over, I'm going straight back to LA and just hitting the studio with a bunch of weirdly famous people that I don't want to mention it now because the money's not in my account. I'm old enough now to know that like you don't say that it's official till the money has landed. But yeah, it looks like all systems are go for some really cool production and publishing and placement of movies and soundtracky type things. And yeah, that's what I'm excited to do at this point. I have a baby at home, a 22-month-old, and like I'm excited just to be home and be musical at home for a little while.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who have you enjoyed working with lately? Who was your favorite person in collaboration to work with?
Well, like I said, the Roots thing was super magical, and that also brought a lot of different people into the fold, like Roselle, like one of the greatest beatboxers of all time, and obviously working with Q-Bert this year. Like this has been like the bucket list year. Like literally, like what do you do after this? Like what do I do now? I got to play with like basically like the band of hip hop, you know. I played at the Radio City Music Hall with Dave Chappelle. He came out running out on stage while I was playing, just like any other crazy fan. And like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just keep on working hard. I guess that's the mission.
What's your favorite piece of gear that you have?
I think when it comes down to it, the acoustic piano is still my favorite instrument. It's still the most musical to me. Like with computer and digital music, you have 127 levels of velocity, or 127 levels of this, or 127 levels of this, or 128, depending if you count the zero as a digit or not in that situation. But either way, like on piano, it feels like there are 1,000 places between like quiet and soft, you know, depending on the almost the temperature. I mean, like it gets that room vibey, you know. It's so much different that like if I hit my drum machine, I program many of them to almost always, if I hit them at any velocity, they're going to come out at full strength, because I just know that there's inconsistencies still with modern drum programming with the drum pads, you know. Even I use the best ones. The machine pads are still the best pads. Those are the ones that I use. But the piano, just like, there's 2 million degrees.
The piano's the most dynamic.
It is. It really is. Yeah. It can be terrifying and non-existent.
Let's see. This is my favorite question to ask. What do you know about Houston?
I know that Daryl Morey is like a super badass NBA general manager. Pretty much all I know about Houston is about the Houston Rockets, because I'm an obsessive NBA basketball fan, and I'm in an NBA fantasy league with a bunch of different producers, and I dominate those people. No, but seriously, like, I'm not even joking. I don't know that much about Houston, and I'm embarrassed to say that, you know?
That's an honest answer.
Yeah, I'll be totally real.
That
be real with you.
Points, so.
I think I got some points with the basketball people, because I know I could probably name like all of the backups for Terrence Jones right now on the Houston Rockets. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm an obsessed basketball fan.
And that wins over like half the fans in Houston.
Yeah, like Montejunas, like who is Papa something tonight, was killing it against the Lakers. For real. Yeah, seriously, I watched the Rockets game before I came to play tonight. That's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
Well, that's all I have.
Thanks, Becky.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.